So thank you, Emily. Thank you, Shumali, for having us here and giving us this opportunity to conduct the masterclass. So Media Connect stands for Discover, Connect, Collaborate. So if any of you all, I'm sure 90% of you all would want to get into films, would want to get into the entertainment industry, the media industry, want to be directors, want to be actors, whatever you all want to. We vision this platform to connect everyone from the media and entertainment industry, and not only in India. We are launching it in USA, in Spain, in France and Canada this year, and by next year we'll be launching it in 8 other countries. There are a lot of people who want to get into this line, so they would love to partner with you all. So as a student, use this platform more. Like you all go to Facebook every half an hour, maybe go to this platform once a day, twice a day, use it and use it to your benefit, basically. Mr. Rahul Bose, a big round of applause for him. Yeah. So on behalf of Media Connect and MAT, we would like to thank Mr. Rahul Bose to take out his time and come here. And I'm sure we are going to have a fascinating 60 minutes after this.
All good? Sure? Okay, lovely. I in fact deeply disapprove of the word masterclass. First of all, it's sexist. And second of all, it assumes that someone is the master and someone is the learner or someone is the receiver. I haven't been raised that way. I don't believe in that. Everybody has something to teach me, and I have something to teach everybody. It's as simple as that. So let's get rid of that. Let's understand one thing. That respect should never be accorded to a human being. It should be accorded to the deeds of the human being, not the words of the human being. The deeds of the human being. That's the only thing that matters. No one gives a shit what you say. It only matters, finally, what your actions are. So once you start off with that, I'm going to talk to you about my first experience as a producer, gleaned over watching producers for 22 years. Just like in life, in cinema, you have to be certain of your intent. तुम्हारी नियत क्या है? मकसद नहीं, मकसद is a goal. तुम्हारा intent क्या है? So when you decide to make Poorna, a biopic, what is your intent? Is your intent to make lots of money? In that case, true story जाए भाड़ में, कुछ भी बना सकते हैं. If your intention is to make money, every single page of the script will be to squeeze the audience, manipulate the audience. If your intent is to make money, then you will cast a superstar and increase Poorna's age to 18, 19 years old, although she was 13. If your sole intent is to make money, then the mentor of Poorna would be a superstar. The industry is full of examples of people who pretend to be very upmarket, but their stories have the same ghisa-pita formula. Their intent is different from their words. And there are many people who pretend to be, yaar, main to aap jaise hu, yaar, main to sadak se hu, yaar, but their films are just go over your head. Or they are so confused, you have no clue what they're about. I met one filmmaker whose film has won every award, been to every festival just last year. It's a good film. That's not the point. Every award, every festival, dark film, but you speak to the filmmaker and he'll tell you, I'm making it for the people, yeah, for the people. Impossible. It's not been made for the people. It's been made with a different purpose. And the purpose is to impress international audiences. Or arty, filmy, festival audiences. So what was the intent with Poorna? The intent was to make one of the few films in this, and I'm not saying I succeeded. So this is not, nothing I say should be taken as self-praise. The intent was to make one of the few films in India's history that you would come out and say, मैंने art film देखा कि मैंने commercial film देखा. मैंने मैसेस का फिल्म देखा कि मैंने क्लासेस का फिल्म देखा? मैंने डॉक्यूमेंट्री देखा या मैंने एक थ्रिलिंग एवरेस्ट फिक्शन देखा? How many of you have seen Poorna? You tell me. Is it an art film? Is it inspirational?
Yes.
Did you cry? Yeah, I cry. I cry every time I see the damn film, although I made it. Do you feel something when she touches the peak and everything goes to silence and she holds the flag? These are not art house moments. These are very mainstream moments. These are moments where you are you're emotionally hooked onto the tale. And your heart is swelling with pride and all kinds of emotions. So then, is it a mainstream film? Is it a mainstream story? This is not about a hairdresser who cuts people's minds, who cuts people's hair and then can read their minds while he's cutting their hair, which is what my first film was. That's like, whoa, interesting but weird. This is straight up. 13-year-old girl becomes youngest girl in history to climb Mount Everest from the tiniest Adivasi village in Telangana. James Bond doesn't die. Right? So you know the story. So isn't the story absolutely mainstream? Mr. and Mrs. Iyer, दो अजनबी बस में, एक लड़का एक लड़की, अब क्या हो सकता है? भला बताइए। वही हुआ। लेकिन अगर एक मेनस्ट्रीम फिल्म मेकर के हाथ में ये फिल्म होता, तो 2-3 गाने बाद बॉम्बे, चिपलून, पूना, हिंजवाड़ी, सातारा, लव विल हैपन बाय कोल्हापुर। अपर्णा सेन के हाथ में it was a realistic, somebody said realistic treatment kind of thing. So, the intent of making Poorna as a producer, I'm not talking about the director, was to make a film that would be, that everybody would love and be inspired by, and yet be respected. As an audience, I respect it. So when she touches the peak, I can go into Janaganamana, or I can go into silence. And you can imagine the tumult, the cheers, the madness in her village. The whole village rises. It's a very important choice. I believe one is manipulation, and I believe the other is respect for the audience. You decide what sound you want. After the mad music of her, how can I go louder than that? What do I do louder than that? What sound can I make louder than that? Stadium roar, T20. That's manipulation. But as soon as she touches the peak and the whole film goes to silence, we're like, hey, sound kind. Then you realize, nahi yaar, ye to aise hi hai. Then your mind begins to work. You're seeing everybody. You're looking at those kids leaping. One kid is dancing like this. And you're watching. And the feeling grows inside you. I think that's cinema. That's cinema only because it means you and I are equal. I am not teaching you anything. I'm asking you to join me. So that is my worldview. I never, ever believe anybody has greater power to take oxygen and take out carbon dioxide than anybody else. So once you fix this intent, you ask yourself, Acha, then how will you cast it? Obviously, you're not going to cast it dishonestly. You're not going to get some Tagda, Pathan, fantastic, amazing superstar to play a Telangana police officer for Dr. R.S. Praveen Kumar, who's a scheduled caste. Obviously, you're going to look for a 13-year-old, the best 13-year-old actress in the country, but you're going to look for her. Obviously, you're going to try and shoot in exactly the places that she was in, because वो जो एक सुगंध है ना, एक reality का एक texture मिलता है वहाँ पे. अगर आप वहाँ पे shoot करोगे गांव में, तो आप obviously पीछे एक orange रंग का चुन्नी नहीं लगाओगे, कि clothes से थोड़ा सा light filter हो रहा है, ऐसा picture नहीं होगा. लेकिन the lensing of the film should be attractive. Because in 10 minutes we're going to go rock climbing over a 650-foot rock, 65 floors high. Trident Hotel है Nariman Point में, double the height of that. That's 31 floors. So this rock was 65 floors high, 650 feet. बच्चे जैसे चींटी जैसे हैं, when they were climbing they looked like that. So, but you want your drone shots, you want it to look really interesting, you want it to look grand, you want it to look thrilling, you want to have the music in the background, you want all that. So you decide when to put your foot on the accelerator and when to take your foot off the accelerator. So language. Those who have seen the film know that there are about 20 Telugu lines. Everybody's told me subtitle the Telugu lines. I said, why should I? Hey, I spoke in Bengali. Did you understand what I said? Completely? Of course you did. I'll speak in numerals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You understand what I said? Clear. So who cares for language? So the intent was to make a film that could not require subtitles. So we showed it to a Filipina woman who's 45 years old. We showed it to an American man who's 40 years old. We showed it to 2 Indonesian kids. And they all understood Poorna. First of all, it's an easy film to understand. And second of all, I think cinema should be watched. Too much of this thing is heard, this whole sort of diatribe that takes place in cinema. I don't really buy into it. I think it should mesmerize you, just like Satyajit Ray's films mesmerize you with what's going on. So then, if that was the intent, we shot in real locations, and the producer in me sat and said, what's the budget of this film? How do I budget this film? What am I going to get back? Nothing, because of the actors. So then how is this film going to work? And where is this film going to work? And that became a very, very crucial point. And the producer realized one thing. The producer realized one thing about Poorna. I have no answers except if we make this correctly, dil khush ho jayega sabka. We just have to make it correctly. So that people, Saurabh, Charlie, at least 30 people have told us there was clapping in the cinema halls. Not crazy clapping, but clapping at the end. Why? It works. People feel good. So the producer said, I know what to do, I'm just going to make a phenomenal movie. I'm not going to put anything in the way of the director. Of course, if he says Poorna ke liye lal Mercedes chahiye, it's culturally untrue. But otherwise, I'm going to do everything possible for the director to really make a really, really fantastic film. For that, you need great music. I went to Salim. Salim was Zakir Hussein's shagird. When Zakir was doing the music for my film, everybody said, I'm fine. Which Vivek produced, and Zakir did the music for free. He spent 3 months on the film. At that time, Salim, I realized, was very talented. Musically, I didn't know Sulaiman. Musically, very, very talented. Salim knows Radiohead, Salim knows Bach, Salim knows Sultan Khan Sahab, Salim knows Gwalior Gharana, Salim knows Bollywood from the 1990s, Salim knows Hindi movies from the 1950s. बातें कर रहे थे और मुझमें काफी हिचकिचाहट थी कि मैं पैसे तो थे नहीं, not for Salim Sulaiman, पैसे थे but not for Salim Sulaiman. बातें करते करते कौन, who should I take Salim, this is the kind of film, this is the kind of story. Finally he said, do you want us to do the music? I said, obviously, but I can't ask you. I really can't. I'm not being modest, I'm ashamed. I can't ask you. But I would love you to do the music. He said, done. It's done. I said, but what about money? He said, Sulaiman and I will discuss it. Whatever monies you have, you let us know and we'll work it out. Amitabh Bhattacharya, you must have heard his name. He's one of the greatest lyricists in today's cinema. Went to him. I said, look, Amitabh, I know how much you charge. But Salim Sulaiman have come on board and I love your writing. So I want you to do it and that's it. That's it. So he looked at me, he blinked 2-3 times. He said, how much money do you have? I said, ₹2.98. He said, "ठीक है, I'll do it." And I think the reason why they said yes is because they could sense the purity of the project. It was not like, मैं छोटा सा एक art film कर रहा हूँ भैया, please, no. It wasn't that. It was, this is going to be a really wonderful, sometimes grand, sometimes intimate movie, and I don't want to compromise. I just don't want to compromise because I know we're onto a good thing. And he couldn't resist, Salim Sulaiman couldn't resist. Then Salim Sulaiman recommended Tanuj Tikku, who just got a national award for Leeches. He did the background score to Leeches. Did you like the score of Poorna? The background, apart from the songs, it was just beautiful. Is Desh mein music? Salim Sulaiman. Actually, music is Tanuj Tikku. Songs, Salim Sulaiman. Salim ने मुझे ये बताया, पता नहीं हमें म्यूजिक क्रेडिट क्यों मिलता है इस इंडस्ट्री में. The music credit should go to the guy who scored 2 hours of the film. हमने तो 3 गाने किए हैं, तो songs का क्रेडिट हमें जरूर दीजिएगा. Anyway, that's different. It's just a matter of labeling. So Tanuj came on board. The cinematographer, God, I must have met 35 cinematographers, all good. If there's one thing the Indian film industry has, is great cinematographers. I don't shoot on red. Maybe red epic, but now we want to use the Alexa, ye, wo. Finally, I came across someone's work, and the work was decent. Then I met him, and he's an extremely decent man. But something in me, I said, let me carry this conversation further. I said, Subhranshu, my brief to you is Babel. Has anyone seen Babel? Okay, so my brief to you is Alejandro González Iñárritu's film, Babel. I said, not the Japanese portions. I said the portions where they're shot in the Middle East, in the desert, in Brad Pitt. She said, fine. I said, I can't afford Alexa, I can't afford Red Epic, I can afford Red. He said, there's no problem. Just let's spend money on the lenses. That was the correct response. That was the correct response. Don't worry about there's very little to choose between these cameras. Just give me a great package of lenses. So he got some great lenses, got the package together. The less money you have, everybody who wants to be a producer, remember this. The less money you have while making a movie, the more time you need to prepare. Prepare till my team was just settled. कि ये तो पकाया है. Because when you prepare, you do things without any hitch. It takes less time and it takes less money. So, I'll give you an example. The rock, Bhongi rock, 650-foot rock, अब ऊपर जाने में 2 घंटे, नीचे आने में 1.25 घंटे. ऊपर जाएंगे, जिमी जिप शॉट लेंगे, लड़की चढ़ रही है. अगर शॉट गलत हुआ तो उसको वापस जाना पड़ेगा 15 फुट, वापस फिर से चढ़. So you get 2 takes maximum. It's hot. The rock is at 50 degrees centigrade. She's not going to be able to do it more than 2 times. फिर नीचे आओ, shot from below on tripod, और फिर उसी shot को drone पे लेना है. We had 3 teams. Drone, Jimmy jib, static below. And we had a system where as soon as that shot got over, the jib went out, shot taken, shot gone, drone gone, out. I said the girl should be on the cliff. Maximum 15 minutes. Done. We have to can 15 shots. The only person who will run up and down like a monkey is me. I will. I'll run up in 45 minutes. By the time you take the jib off, I'll run down. Everybody in my team became my chief assistant that day on the 3 crews. So your chief there, your chief here, your chief there. I will come around. On walkie, as soon as the shot is ready, boom, do it, take it now. Sir, this is for shot. Yeah, okay, good. I don't have to be standing next to the cameraman for that. We planned this like an army operation. From the time the crew left the hotel, it was, if somebody was 5 minutes late, they felt ashamed for the whole day. We didn't have 5 minutes. We planned this like an army operation and we executed it like an army operation. Every single minute was executed like an army operation. I'm not joking. Every single angle, and the consideration is always for the actor. Always for the little girl. She's hanging from a rope. Safety people all over. She's on harness, take the harness off, do the shot, put the harness back on, etc., etc. Sikkim, 15,000 feet. Last portion with the Everest footage. Hi. 15,000 feet in Sikkim. This is a classic story of a producer and director. जहां पे हमने रेकी किया था अक्टूबर में, सारे जो थे लोकेशंस अनरीचेबल। रात को बर्फ जम जाता सड़कों पे, दिन को जब तक बर्फ पिघलता था शाम हो जाती। तो एक बार हम गए, 22 लाख रुपए, 98 लोग वापस आ गए। दूसरी बार हम गए और मैं डायरेक्टर प्रोड्यूसर, मैं वहां पे खड़ा हूं दूसरे दिन पे। हम मतलब जहां पे लोकेशन कुछ 10 किलोमीटर आगे है, मैं सोच रहा हूं मैं करूं तो क्या करूं यहां पे। उस वक्त डायरेक्टर ने प्रोड्यूसर को बचाया। डायरेक्टर ने झांक के देखा इस तरफ, स्नो फिल्ड माउंटेन, इस तरफ स्नो फिल्ड माउंटेन। और वॉकी पे इन द मेकिंग ऑफ वीडियो में ये है, जो नेट पे है, यू कैन हैव अ लुक। सब लोग कह रहे हैं कि वापस जाओ, गाड़ियां यू टर्न करके वापस जाओ, आगे बर्फ है और शूटिंग कैंसिल। और मैंने फैसला किया कि ठीक है, reimagine the whole thing. We'll do scene 27, we'll do the approach to Mount Rannoch here, we'll do the Everest peak on that side. This side we will do her first approach to Camp 1, this will be Camp 2, and we can shoot Camp 3 there. Okay guys, let's shoot. And I began to climb the mountain. I just began to climb the mountain. I climbed for 45 minutes, all the straight up. We were all in snowsuits, boots till here, parkas. And the crew was looking at me as if I've gone mad. They're like, "Kya kar raha hai?" I went there, I stood there, and I put my hands on my hips. Everybody began to walk up. You have to come to the producer's rescue. You have to. Iranian films are made with 95,000 restrictions, which the producer doesn't put. Yet we get world-class cinema. There's always a way. There's always a creative way to do something such that people have no clue about the problems you went through. That is something you have to do. Let's get back to intent. You're making a biopic about a 13-year-old girl. Most biopics, in fact all biopics, are made when a person's life is over. कम से कम career is over. कम से कम करियर का जो शिखर था वो तो गुजर गया है, वो क्षण निकल चुका है, करेक्ट? यहां पे 13 साल की लड़की है। दिस इज अ बायोपिक अबाउट समबडी एट द बिगिनिंग ऑफ देयर लाइफ, नॉट द एंड ऑफ देयर लाइफ। कोई कह सकता है ठीक है यार, उसने 2 ओलंपिक्स में उन्हें जो भी किया, ठीक है, इट्स ओके, हो गया, 30 साल पहले की बात है। बट दिस इज हियर राइट नाउ शी इज गोइंग टू बी, शी इज 13, then she'll be 14, then she'll be 15. So that responsibility of making sure that the integrity to what we have promised her, that will be kept, and the producers think about, we have to make this film work. All of it was solved with one thing. If I was moved to hear that a 13-year-old girl, undereducated, underfed, poor, Adivasi, from Telangana, where there is not even a hill, forget about mountains, in 8 months, from looking after her goat in Pakala, in 8 months reached the top of Everest and shattered the world record. How the hell did this happen? How the hell did this happen? And then जब मैंने research किया, I said, this is a fantastic, you don't have to do anything. यहाँ पे writers कौन है? Okay. अगर आपने लिखा होता और विवेक वासवानी को आप पिच कर रहे होते कि सर मैंने एक बहुत इंस्पिरेशनल स्टोरी लिखा है, एक लड़की माउंट एवरेस्ट चढ़ती, ओह गुड गुड गुड, हाउ ओल्ड इज शी? सर 13 साल की है. I know Vivek doesn't raise his hand, but otherwise he would have given me one slap and said, 16 तो बनाओ यार. I mean, make it believable. So this is so unbelievable. When I heard that, I just heard this, I said, it's ridiculous. Because at 13, you have to die on Everest. You cannot live. Physically, you cannot live on Everest because at 8,000 meters plus, you start losing 1 million cells a minute. हमारे ज़माने में एक गेम हुआ करता था LON लंदन. किसी को पता है ये गेम क्या है? Only people of a certain age. So LON लंदन ये गेम है. हम यहाँ पे शुरू करते हैं 2 जन, 3 जन, 4 जन. वो दीवार है. So पता नहीं क्यों LON लंदन, MUMBAI मुंबई, पता नहीं क्यों लंदन है. LON लंदन करके दौड़ के उस दीवार को छू के वापस आए. ये है एवरेस्ट का फाइनल पुश. Camp 3 to the summit is LON London because you die every minute. So basically you have to go there and come back before you die. Everybody will die. Schwarzenegger will die, you will die. Everybody will die if you stay too long. And a 13-year-old girl who has zero physiological advantage, not the big lungs of a northeastern tribal girl who's lived in the Himalayas, nothing. For her to go and come back is impossible. Even if she ran and came back, it's impossible. She would die. तो ये सारे फैक्टर्स जब मैं देख रहा था तो मुझे लगा कि ये एक सुनहरा मौका है ये दिखाने के लिए कि जब ये देश चाहता है, जब इस देश में सिस्टम काम करता है और उस सिस्टम के ऊपर एक ईमानदार, पैशनेट, विजनरी अफसर है और एक लड़की में काबिलियत है, then this country is unbeatable. अफसोस कि ये 20 साल में शायद एक बार होता है. But when these 3 things align, this country is glorious and it cannot happen anywhere else. 100 सवाल पूछते हैं अमेरिका में, I'm sorry, but she's 13, she can't do this, you know, you gotta get the doctor, all this stuff. You can do it. We can put a 13-year-old girl from Telangana on Everest. Next. I say, if I can put this story out like this, then everybody who sees the film is going to say, यार ये रोज क्यों नहीं होगा? और मेरा भी एक एवरेस्ट है. बैले डांसिंग था, IIT छुपा दिया है मैं, डिस्को डांसिंग, एनीथिंग. मैं उसको जरा साफ करके फिर से मेरे सामने लाऊं. I said that is what's going to work. Not so, oh lovely, what a story. अपनी बेटी से बेटी कहती है कि I'm 11, I'm complaining about chemistry. Then you ask yourself, जब मैं 13 साल का था तो मैं क्या कर रहा था? I only wanted to kiss Anita, girl in my class. That was my Everest. Of course I failed. I'm still failing. I didn't even get to base camp. Okay. How much time do we have, Vivanka? Okay, great. So we're halfway through. अब आते हैं फिल्म. हो गई, फिल्म बन गया. फिल्म बन गया, शूटिंग खत्म हो गई. पोस्ट प्रोड्यूसर ने डायरेक्टर को कहा, हम एक स्वीट बनाते हैं, हम कहीं नहीं जाएंगे, यू टेक योर टाइम. से शुरू किया मैंने और कहाँ से हम खत्म, I mean, विपुल शाह, आनंद गांधी दोनों को मैंने थैंक्स दिए फिल्म में. We showed them the rough cut in August. No. June. And from there we came down to the final 99 minutes 3 months later. That the producer said, let the director be. Just let him be. It's okay. I had a fantastic editor, wo ho gaya. When it came down to sound, that's fine, no problem. Let the director have his call. It came down to music, let the director have his call. Then we came to VFX. मेरे ख्याल से आज जिन्होंने देखा है, आपको कैसा लगा? Do you know that there was we had merged an actual expedition that from the summit of Everest with the climbing shots? Who saw the film? There were some hands that went up, no? Yeah. Could you spot it?
At one point.
Which one?
I think जब वो बेहोश हो जाती है,
Hmm.
and then she sees the side of her older sister.
Hmm.
I think they're walking together.
That's one shot, correct. It's okay, it's not great. Otherwise, there are 171 shots. If you see the original and you see what we've done, we have created what we now call, what now Tata Alexi calls, snowstorm. So the snow will blow, the wind will blow, hit this mountain, and the snow will fly like that. So hit the mountain. Or it will fly and the wind will come in this way and the snow will go like that. So literally you began to study wind currents. The snowflakes on her parka don't exist. They've been put there, each snowflake. 3 months. Now the producer began to get nervous. We know how expensive VFX is. But Tata Alexi did a fantastic job, wo to zahir hai. But more important, it won their hearts. They had never done mountains before. They had never done snow before. They had never seen somebody who was looking at the GPRS of each snowflake. I used to stand at the screen and say, this flake is wrong. This flake is dishonest. Who knows? This flake is dishonest. This flake is dishonest. I need this flake to go that way. And so I spent my birthday with them. Okay, 12 o'clock at night, we were at Prasad with the Tata Alexi boys. All of them, I think, 2 Malayalis, 1 Kannadiga, and 2 Tamilians. And just 6 of us watching these snowflakes and all this stuff. And I said, you're my family now. But we won their hearts. The billing stopped at one point. The billing stopped. Because I refused. They knew that they were onto something which is going to make their portfolio look really good. It's a major piece of work. And so the billing stopped and we finished the work. Maybe that's a producer's charm. Maybe it's a director's passion. I don't know. But even today, whenever they're Rahul sir, I say, come for coffee. They just come, sit, chat. They just hang, with us. Wonderful team of people. So, without any compromise, on budget, I should tell you, by the way, I think we should be the first Hindi film in history on the first day of shooting. Normally, Vivek, first day of shooting, you normally fall behind by 25%. Minimum. आपके 20 shots होते हैं, 16 shots के बाद आपने pack up कर दिया. We finished 2 hours early. So my executive producer comes running onto the set and says, what are you doing? I said, nothing, we're packing up. He says, it's 5 o'clock, it's a 7 to 7. I said, yeah, we're done. No, you can't be done. Shoot the sunset, shoot birds, shoot something. Keep shooting, you can't pack up now. And so we brought this film not bang, under budget when we finished the movie. Now it came down to release of the film. Now, Charmi and Saurabh are very much part of that entire experience. So, what is the intent? The intent is to make a film for everyone. Whether you're from Andaman Nicobar Islands or whether you're from Kashmir. Language doesn't matter. It will be in Hindi, there will be some Telugu bits, it will not be subtitled, and you have to go with it. It should be gripping for you. So we started focus groups. Focus groups. And it was really crazy because we were getting between 8.5 to 9.5 on 10. जो गरीब है बंबई में, उनको पहला फर्स्ट हाफ देखकर क्या ये तो गांव तो मेरा है. चाहे तुम नांदेड़ से हो, चाहे तुम नगर से हो, चाहे तुम केंद्रपाड़ा उड़ीसा से हो, सब कह रहे थे कि ये तो मेरा गांव है. मेरा गांव बिल्कुल ऐसा है. ये मेरी कहानी है या मेरे बाप की कहानी है. और ये लड़की वहां पे पहुंच गई सर. फैंटास्टिक. बिग मार्क्स. Urban rich, South Bombay, Beach Candy, some fat kid, having popcorn and watching the film. Second half, climbing. Yeah, uncle, it's really nice, and she's really good. And it was like the shoes, it's really thrilling. I saw Everest, but this was all like that. So we knew that there's a common factor. Rajesh Khanna ने कहा, Pushpa, I hate tears. हम focus groups में कहते थे, we love tears. You have to cry. If you cry, this film is working. Once we finished that, we began to show the film to studios. We said, get a studio release. Without getting into details, one studio said yes, but their financial terms were not just unfair, they were cruel. So we walked out. Another studio, this is very interesting, you won't get these insights from anybody else. Another studio said yes, but they said 31 मार्च का जो डेट है वो बहुत गलत डेट है. तो मैंने कहा क्यों? See, year ending. मतलब year is ending मूवी मत देखना. मैं नहीं चाहूंगा यार, year is ending. Tuesday है, मैं व्रत रखता हूँ, ऐसा मैं समझ सकता हूँ, but year ending में I said year ending? But April 1st is a holiday. April 1st is a holiday. You cannot work on April 1st. It's a full holiday for everybody. So that will be great. This was the only answer they gave me. I said, fine, suggest to me 3 other dates. I'm happy to change the date of the film if you convince me. For 3 weeks, they didn't say anything. I said, I'm sorry, I'm 45 days from March 31st. I'm going to walk away. They didn't believe me, I walked away. I walked away from a studio deal. I have the email with me with all the finances, the entire deal. Good deal. Not a cruel deal. Good deal. They wanted to change the date and I said no. Because I understood why we had chosen March 31st. Because we had worked like dogs for that date. I'll explain to you why. Exam time. 10th and 12th. लेकिन हमारे देश में एक एग्जाम नहीं होता है. IGCSE, ICSE, SSC, HSC, IB, CBSE. तो हम पागल हो गए थे ऑफिस में कि यार कहाँ पे फिट करें, क्योंकि हमें पता था this is a film for parents and children. So we said भाग में जाए, 10th 12th को भाग में जाए, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11 को पकड़ते हैं. उसी हिसाब से I took the film to 7 cities and showed it to principals in every city. Headmistresses, headmasters, principals. 50, because I'm very connected to schools. I'm the brand ambassador for Design for Change. I have direct connectivity with 30,000 schools. So to get 40, 50 principals in each of the big cities was not difficult. Showed it to them. Lovely, lovely. I knew it will work. He says, this is amazing because we want to tell our kids, look at this girl. If she can do this, तुम भी कुछ भी कर सकते हो. तुम्हारे पास इतना कुछ है compared to what Poorna had. देखो, it's a straight sell. करते, we got a booking, tentative booking for 186 houseful shows. तो फर्ज करो जमुना भाई नरसी ने लिया 1000 बच्चे वहां पे 5 houseful shows PVR जो में, correct? We got 186 houseful shows. If you change March 31st, and they had said, we can do it only till April 10th, क्योंकि स्टैंडर्ड 7 का यूनिट टेस्ट हो रहा है, स्टैंडर्ड 8 हिमालयन ट्रैक के लिए जा रहा है, स्टैंडर्ड 9. So I didn't want to upset this. I also knew if the film has legs, then by April 15th the exams will be over. 10th 12th के जो एग्जाम्स हैं वो 15 तारीख को खत्म होने वाले हैं मोस्ट. एक आध पेपर रहेगा कुकरी या ऐसा कुछ, अदरवाइज physics, chemistry, the main things are gone. Even the cookery guys will say, "Chalo yaar, we can go and see a film now." So I refused to change the date. I held that date and I said goodbye to the studio. And we started our campaign 41 days before. And we did ahead of a studio, not that same studio, ahead of another studio, met me 3 days ago. And they said that this is the best marketed film in the last 10 years. I don't know if that's true or not. But let me tell you how we marketed this film. Because this is the last link in the chain. We kicked off this film by showing this film to the Indian cricket team. The Indian cricket team has never watched a film together in their life. I know Anil. I know Virat a little bit. But I know Anil. I spoke to him. इत्तेफाक से उन्होंने कहा पूना में हम हैं ऑस्ट्रेलियन सीरीज के पहले. पूना में पहला टेस्ट है. हमारा होटल है गेटवे होटल हिंजेवाड़ी और 20 गज की दूरी पे ईस्टवेयर मल्टीप्लेक्स हिंजेवाड़ी है. So I said, that's it. तो हम सब गए. सीक्रेसी, स्पाई वर्सेस स्पाई, पीछे एंट्रेंस से 4 गाड़ियां पर्दा लगा के, ये वो जस्ट फॉर 20 meters फ्रॉम देयर टू देयर. द टीम वाज ड्रिवन बैक एंट्रेंस ऑफ द मल्टीप्लेक्स. लोग वहां से निकल रहे हैं, यहां से हम आ रहे हैं. फुल सीक्रेसी, टॉप सीक्रेट सिक्योरिटी. ओके, अल्फा रोमियो ब्रावो सब गोइंग ऑन. दे केम. 240 का सीटर है. कुल मिला के 25 लोग थे. फिजियो, मसाज थेरेपिस्ट, टोनेल कटर, जो भी है. ओके. एवरीबडी सैट ऑन द बैक रो. लाइक मतलब 30रा रो. ऐसे गए काम से कहीं है. नो वी आर फाइन, वी आर फाइन. ऑल नाइस गाइस. ट्रेनिंग के बाद आए थे. Shower लेके track suit में. I know. I've played rugby for India for 11 years. Captain has said, "Come and watch a film." No, nice guy. You come and watch the film. But ठीक है यार. And I heard something like कुछ पहाड़ का फिल्म है यार, लड़की है. ठीक है, देखते हैं. जिसने भी कहा वो भी मुझे याद है. कहूँगा नहीं. So I told the team. I said, if the film works with these people, then we're through. Because this is the most disinterested crowd I have ever seen. Why should they be interested? They're going to play Australia in 2 days. Their minds are on that. Now, manager and captain have said, let's go and see this film. It'll be a good bonding exercise. You know how it is here. As human beings, first thing we do is we think, we don't say, wow, never. Because we think we know it all. Yeah, क्या हो गया यार? एक लड़की आ गई, बाहर चली गई, क्या? मुझे पता है. I would have done the same thing. Film got over. They were all on the last row still like this. I said, सब ठीक तो है? हाँ, फिल्म कैसा लगा? सही है, सही है. ऐसा आप में से कोई रोया? So Virat said, yeah man, I cried. And then the whole team, yeah, I also cried. Of course I cried. Cut. फिल्म के पहले मैंने कहा था कि अगर आप चाहो, अगर आपको लगता है, अगर आप राजी हैं तो फिल्म के बाद 2-4 आप अगर साउंड बाइट दे देंगे इस फिल्म के बारे में, हम बहुत खुश होंगे. तो उस वक्त रिस्पॉन्स था. Now we said, would anybody like to say, I'll speak about the film. Then we knew that this has done. They're not kids, they're not teachers, they're not parents. They're not, this is just guys who have other things to do. They are top class sportsmen, they're geniuses. And yet we can grab and capture them when they don't know anything about Poorna. Kahin pe advertising nahi tha, kuch nahi tha. We started a campaign with that. And their sound bites, their quotes are on the posters, on the ads, and we've used that. And the campaign went digital, and it ran on a MediaNet story, and it did really well. I believe the marketing of any movie should come from the movie. Okay? You just can't suddenly have Led Zeppelin playing a concert for Poorna. You know what I mean? It's just no connection. So then we said, fine, what other events can we plan? So I said, okay. पूर्णा ने शिखर पहुंचने के बाद जब वो नीचे आ रही थी, उसने कहा, किसी ने पूछा तुमने क्यों किया? उसने कहा क्योंकि मैं दिखाना चाहती थी कि लड़कियां कुछ भी कर सकती हैं. So I said, fine. 5 minutes. So I said, fine. So we got Sakshi Malik, Barkha Dutt, Zoya Akhtar, and Poorna from 4 different worlds. And we did a seminar on Ladkiyan Kuch Bhi Kar Sakti Hain, which I moderated, and these 4 women told their stories. One from journalism, one from wrestling, one from Poorna, of course, and one from the world of film. Then we had, don't ask me how I did it, the President of India had a special screening at Rashtrapati Bhavan. So Poorna met him, Aditi met him, I sat next to him, and the Honorable President didn't move. He saw the whole film. When she touched the summit, he took his glasses off, took out a big hanky, wiped his face, put his glasses back on, and watched the rest of the film. So I think he was quite moved. And finally, we tied up with Indigo Airlines because they have a massive gender justice, equal opportunity for women initiative, and we had their hoardings. Each air hostess wore an I Am Poorna badge. There's an announcement on the aircraft that we are celebrating Poorna, the youngest girl to climb Mount Everest. The baggage tags said 1 kilo on sea level weighs 3 kilos on Everest. The buses, there were signs that said in the time it takes for this bus to cover 1,000 meters from the airport to your plane, Poorna would have covered 1 meter. That's how slow you move on Everest. So it was stuff like this. You opened the tray table, it would say broccoli soup, potato soup, cauliflower soup, the diet of an Everest mountaineer. Luckily, you have more choices and the Indigo menu. So that's the kind of stuff that we wrote and did with Indigo, and that really caught fire. And so at the end of it, with money that was 1/10 of what we had, what we should have had, we got the buzz going on the film. And finally the film began to catch traction, till of course the film released and became a word of mouth film. I think I've run out of time.
We'll have a question now.
Yes, I would love that. So, please, anybody with any questions, specifically, sir, you have a question? Sorry. Hello.
Yeah, Rahul, I just want to know, because there will be a lot of students who want to be actors or something. I mean, you casted non-actors, or actors, and you being an actor as well as a director. So please give us some view on that.
Yeah, would that be interesting? Talk about it. Okay, so everybody is either an actor or a non-actor, whether you act or not. There are many actors who are non-actors, and there are many people who have never acted before who are actors. What do I mean by this? You need 3 qualities to be a great actor. 1, empathy. Hindi में वो शब्द नहीं है. सहानुभूति, पता नहीं. The ability to put yourself in that person's place and say, oh, that's what you're experiencing. That's what the character is experiencing. 2, emotional wisdom. To understand situations that you might not have experienced yourself. You are now going to murder your mother. Chances are, not many of us have murdered our mothers. So you don't know. You have to have the emotional wisdom to understand what it takes to do that. 3, the eyes. I'm not saying the face. I'm saying the eyes to reflect all of that. That's what you need. If you don't have these three things, I can't direct you. Nobody can direct you. Many directors have tried to work with non-actors who actually can't act and they have failed. Nobody I know in my life has succeeded till now, unless they cast a person who's playing themselves. If I cast Vivek to be a producer in Hindi movie industry and he's a bad actor, although he isn't, he'll be fine. But apart from that, if you have to cast someone, you need these three qualities for sure. So when I was auditioning Aditi, I looked to see, can she do this? Can she actually have the emotional wisdom? Can she have the empathy to understand? Does she have the eyes to reflect? And one last quality, I made her cry. I made her cry. I made her talk to me about the saddest thing in her life. उसने कहा कि पिछले महीने मेरे नाना गुजर गए थे. तो मैंने कहा नाना के बारे में कुछ बताइए. How did he smell? Did he tell you stories? Did he trace his finger on your hand while he was telling you stories? Did you feel safe? Did you go to sleep? And she began to cry. Then I started the audition. Because if you can take direction under pressure, then you should be in films. Because filmmaking, acting is only about pressure. Light pressure, shot lena hai pressure, senior co-star pressure, location badalna hai pressure, money pressure, time pressure. There's too much pressure. Mark, you have to hit the mark pressure, focus nahi hua pressure. If you can't take pressure and then take direction, do not join cinema. It's got very little ultimately to do with your final talent. It has to do with all of this stuff. You can be in theatre, that's fine. But you cannot do cinema if you can't absorb pressure and take it. So that's it.
Securing finance becomes a big issue. So how would you like to? How would someone approach for that?
There's no answer. It's tough. It's crazy tough. It's almost impossible. What answer can anyone give? I happen to have acted in 31 films. I happen to have done decently in some of those films. People know me. People also know my reputation as being ethical, straight, not interested in fooling people for money. People know me for being honest and sincere and hardworking. They don't know you. So tough. It's up to you how hard or how bad you want it. There is no easy way. There is no easy way. This happened to me, but for 22 years, what I've been doing, although I've enjoyed it, is 22 years of freaking hard work, you know? So there's no easy way. So I get asked this question a lot. How can we? You can't. You might. The chance is this much. Either you live for that chance or you walk away. There is no fair and unfair. It is the way it is. Tough it out or don't. You know? One fast bowler came to Kapil, he was telling me this story and said that, you know, sir, मैं बहुत मेहनत करता हूँ, मैं swing, outswing, in swing 134 kilometers per hour. He said, बेटे, ना ही मैं कुछ कर सकता हूँ, ना ही मैं कुछ करूँगा. मैं सिर्फ ये कहूँगा, मेहनत करो. बाकी किस्मत, मेहनत करो. I mean, what else can you say? The truth is that. The only thing I can tell you, if there's any country in the world where there's a traffic jam, where you can squeeze through on your scooter and get to the other side, it's India. एम्बुलेंस में बंदा मर जाएगा पीछे, लेकिन तुम निकल सकते हो. अगर कोई देश है जहां पे never ever ever give up applies, it's India. Because कहीं ना थोड़ा सा एक गैप निकल जाएगा. उस गैप में एक मतलब स्टेडियम पूरा खचाखच है, एक स्टील वायर में एक थोड़ा सा गैप करके किसी ने अपने आप को 10 किलो का बना के gets in, God knows how, half his body is still outside and he's watching the match. It's India. It's mad. It's India.
considering that you are actor and director in the same movie, and I don't know if you've done that before yourself, how hard is it or how easy is it being an actor and a director in a movie that you're so passionate about?
It's very easy. People talk shit. It's easy. Everybody says I'm fine, of course. But it's easy. Listen, you're acting and you're playing a character. Then you come out of it and you're the director of the film. You're like, that's shit. Let's do it again. If you don't have this much of honesty or distance, then you shouldn't be in this profession. You can't be anything. Come on, every day we are angry brothers, domineering husbands, meek sons, and failed lovers. Every day, in the same day. So, where's the question about having distance? You can play different roles every day. That's one. But I will say this. You can be a director and an actor. You can be a producer and an actor. You can be a producer and a director. But never, never, never produce, direct, and act. Just don't do it. Trust me. जान निकल गई. कभी कभार इतना मुझे गुस्सा आता था कि अब मुझे मेकअप डाल के कैमरा के सामने जाना पड़ेगा. Damn it! I just want to make this movie. I was so furious because you get into a different zone. Oh God! Then you have to Praveen Kumar. Okay, easy, cool, chill, makeup, whatever. You know, it's just it's not fun. I love the man. I love the role. And I wanted the role to be like water, very easy. But to do that, to produce and direct, it's just unnecessary hell. Also, it's embarrassing. क्या यार? उसे काम नहीं मिल रहा था तो produce direct अपने आप को डाल दिया उसने. It's very embarrassing. So it's not going to happen again. I started writing for Rediffusion in I know you guys would have been born then, most of you, 1989. And I became creative director in 1994. I was 25 years old. I was the second youngest creative director on earth. The youngest was a prodigy in England who was 21 years old. And I was creative director doing strategy. A lot of strategy for the Taj Group, for the entire Tata Group. Many brands we handled. And that is where I've come in with this. Like, I look at brands from the point of view, why is Chocolate Eclairs sponsoring Everest? But why is Mountain Dew sponsoring Everest? I understand. So there should be that genuine, the brand promise and the equity of the brand should be the same as what the film promises. Things like that. So I use a lot of that.
And one more question, sir.
No? Right? Somebody else has to ask a question, right? This is not a conversation. Ji.
Good evening, sir. My question, actually I'm a BMM student, just 18 years old, so I am not so much into all these things. But the question I want to ask is, what did you see in Aditi Inamdar? You know, how can you make, what made you think that she's perfect for the role of Poorna? I mean, she's a school girl from...
I've understood the question very clearly.
Sorry.
So, the real Poorna was 13, looking after her bakri in Pakala Gaon. 8 महीने बाद 8,550 मीटर पे शिखर से 300 मीटर दूर थक के, हार के नहीं लेकिन थकान जो है वहां पे, your imagination is playing tricks on you. उस वक्त वो देखती है, वो 6 लाशें देखती है. अब ये विजडम, एक ब्रह्मांड आ जाता है आपके अंदर. Life, death, exhaustion, sleep. छोड़ो यार, I'll just lie down for 2 minutes. I'll die. I don't want to die. What's my life? Who am I? So the real Poorna has the unconscious wisdom of a 200-year-old. But I didn't want Aditi to have that. I wanted Aditi to have the eyes of a 13-year-old who's doesn't think the camera is on. But when the time comes and she says, "Sir, I will do it," her eyes have to shift. And you have to say, "हाँ," as an audience. मैं believe करता हूँ, ये कर सकती है. उसमें कुछ है. अगर वो आपको में नहीं मिलेगा, finished. So I needed to have these two qualities in the actress I wanted. We looked at 500 girls.
So Media Connect, as you know, is a global exchange platform where directors, producers, actors, they can look for jobs, they can apply for jobs, and at the same time they can upload jobs. So how do you think such an online platform in today's time and age?
It's a win-win-win-win-win-win-win for everybody.
So when I said global media exchange platform, look, the intent was to collaborate with the whole world. I think any content in one language is good, and which is good and creditable, is the same for any other language really across the globe. I think it has to be adapted to that culture and the sensibilities of that country. And I think not only in India but different places in the world, people don't take that extra effort to go that extra mile, think out of the box, and to see how that content can be monetized in the maximum way and get and you can be as profitable as possible, really. And the other thing is, when I was looking at Media Connect and connecting all the dots together, I think clearly there are a lot of newcomers who want to be a part of the industry, part of the content creation process. The idea was to give them, of course, an opportunity. The other thing is that the business in its by the inherent nature is a project-to-project business. You know, there are so many people who work in this and say, hey, where is my next work coming from? I have these slots, and whether it's an actor, technician, director, whoever, and say during an annual calendar, I have these slots which I am not working. What do I do, and how do I take this forward? So to really help them to seek projects when there is availability of time. And of course, for the more established studios and all the other friends out in the industry, the idea was to be able to collaborate with a Wanda, with the 10 Cents, with guys who are doing content creation, distribution at a different level. So that's really what our objective was with Media Connect, and it still is. And I'm very happy to have you here, Rahul. Thank you for all the support, and I'm so glad we're doing this a few weeks after the release. I think it adds so much meaning to the event, and I'm glad we decided that way. We ourselves had faith in the content, and we said, you know, let's maximize this, let's do this a few weeks later. So I'm glad it turned out. Thank you, and I hope you all enjoyed. Rahul was excellent.
Actually, I'll answer your question. I mean, this is what Rajit said, which is absolutely the intent. But the truth is that there's nothing that Media Connect is doing that is not useful. All of it is useful. Everything Ranjit has said is useful because, apart from the gaps in the nature of working stop start, I had met a director who told me, I'm only going to work with foreign cinematographers from now on. Whether you agree or disagree, how could she say this? Because today she has the reach. Earlier we didn't even know कि यार वो Czechoslovakian film cinematographer जिसने वो award-winning Cannes award-winning film बनाया था, कैसे contact करना? Now she has got 20 of them on speed dial, and she said, Rahul, I promise you, they are cheaper than anybody I've met in the mainstream space in this country. Amazing.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's not anti-India, but it's certainly pro-making some producer would love that idea. So this thing that it's a global platform for everybody who has a need into a film or a need outside of a film, going outwards. That's why I said it's win-win-win in every single respect. I mean, I'm amazed that nobody else has done something like this at this level in this country, because it's a no-brainer.
The amount of people that we have in the industry is unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Okay, I just wanted before I...
How are you, sir?
I'm good, thank you.
Uh,
But did it seem that I was unwell in the last 1.5 hours?
Sorry.
Gee,
Could not.
I'm fine.
Yeah, I would take. I normally call you sir. After I watched Japanese Wife, I started calling you sir, and the great acting and everything. Since you are in direction and everything, you got into all this. Do we get the chance to see that kind of movie again?
Please sit. Everything is viable at a price. If Japanese Wife is made for 5 rupees, it's viable. If it's made for 50 crores, it's unviable. So the answer is all content will flourish at the correct price. the reason why you don't see certain films flourishing is because the price is wrong. Like the English movie is dead. Correct. But if you make an English film for 5 rupees, it's alive. तो गेम वही है कि औकात क्या है उस क्रिएटिव प्रोडक्ट की और प्राइस क्या है. तो जापानीज वाइफ जैसे फिल्म्स क्या मैं प्रोड्यूस करूंगा आगे, क्या मैं डायरेक्ट करूंगा, डेफिनेटली, बट इट ऑल डिपेंड्स ऑन व्हाट आई कैन मेक इट फॉर एंड विल इट बी वायबल. My next film is very far away from Poorna and the Japanese wife. It's set in Bombay and it's about a woman. Fiction. But I already know the viability of the project because the role has got Filmfare Award winner written all over the room. It's just an unbelievable role for a woman. And so now I know who to approach. So I know what price I'll get. Automatically in my producer's brain I know what's happening. But if I was to do Japanese wife, I would approach it differently. Japanese wife with Irfan, very viable. Japanese wife with me, maybe. That's what I mean.
Japanese wife with you is the best. Because nobody can act like you. The character you got in that particular movie.
Look, I agree with you. I think it's my best work in 31 films. Yeah, so
that's very true.
So I just wanted to say thank you. I think the Japanese have a saying that the greatest respect that you can give somebody is by listening to them. So thank you for giving me that respect.
Thanks a lot, Rahul. We'll just have a small token of appreciation. Shamali ma'am, yes, on behalf of MET and Media Connect, she would like to give out a small token of appreciation to Mr. Rahul Bose.
Why can't tokens of appreciation be big and expensive?
I'm just joking. Yeah. Let's have a big round of applause.